So this is what we're looking at today. This is by Transhuman Design and Skystone Games. This is Maniac. Ever just tired of it all? Ready for change? Want to bet it all on sheer mayhem and destruction? In comes Maniac, a roguelike crime action game in which the world goes against you and your insanity creates chaos. There are multiple different characters to unlock, abilities to obtain, and just moments of mayhem to create, as you can see here in the above video. So let's go ahead and jump into Maniac, which this is the launch day for 1.0 Maniac. Right now, it's $4.99 US dollar, and right now, for the introduction offer until April 11th, it's 10% off, so it's actually only $4.49. So for the price, really a price like this, you usually can't beat depending on the game and what they offer, and this looks like a hell of a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and check it out and see what it's really all about. So as we see here, we have multiple different characters that we will eventually unlock. We have Drunk Santa. We've got this clown here, this guy here, this little girl, it looks like, Spaceman, and a hot dog. I mean, if I had to wear that suit, I'd probably go crazy too. Requirement for unlock is 18 hot dog stands, I guess. For this character, it's 45 Mafia. I'm guessing maybe taking out that number of Mafia people. 18 babies. Oh, God. 30 taxis. 35 kids. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Now, as we can see here, too, we have a motive for why each person is going berserk. So there is that. Each person has a health stat, speed stat, gun handling, impact resistance, and a perk. So for Drunk Santa, if you crash in a vehicle, you are resistant to it. Whatever that means, whether it's taking damage or maybe being stunned, I'm not quite sure, but I'm intrigued. Also has high impact resistance, that definitely helps. Not the best at speed or gun handling, but a lot of health. So Drunk Santa is much more so the tank of the group. Can take a hit and keep on going. Our objectives for this: survive 20 minutes to reach nuclear strike. Second one is, I have no idea. I'm going to guess it's a doctor's signature. And the third is drink pina colada with the babes. Because why not? If you can't be happy, at least you can be drunk. So we can see the character there to our left. We can see the perks, I'm guessing, that this specific character has unlocked. Kick in the face is one that we currently have, it looks like. Though we can't tell what that does. What else do we have? We have upgrades and equipment. Equipment is bag of gifts. Only good boys and girls get to feel the magic of this bag. Can push away incoming bullets and cars. Oh shit, that's cool. Remote detonated joy of Christmas. Oh no. A classic pump-action shotgun, found in many happy homes in America. You know, Santa's Little Helpers. Holy shit. Hollywood Enhancer increases radius of impact for explosions. Those are upgrades. Faster running speed. Your work attracts followers. Leader. Wonder what that means. I guess we get people fighting for us? That'd be interesting. Okay, so that's the kick. Oh shit. I got you, fool. Okay, so we just auto-picked up a gun by running over it. Spacebar is to dodge. We just kicked a child. So people are dropping money, it looks like? I'm just kicking the crap out of everything, to be honest. Also, it seems like your main weapon will change very quickly. Oh, shit. Here we go. Bullet Whisper. Okay, so we can pick our upgrade now. Our health is at half already. Bullet Whisper, more accurate gun aim and speed, more ammunition. Faster running speed, more resistance to impacts and explosions, or nails. Uh-huh. All right. Also, this is so quiet all of a sudden. Like, everything else is so loud, and then you get to hear, and it's like no music or anything. I'm like, really? That's interesting. I would have, like, you know, want some, like, cool music when we're here. But, well, we have $400 so far. Let's get Alley Brawler. Okay, so we see it takes a little bit of time to enter into a car. Oh, wow. Yeah, you can just kind of plow right through stuff. Look at that. But yeah, this really does just create a huge change of pace to the normal, like, reverse bullet hell roguelites. It's quite interesting. Like, not everyone is trying to attack you. Oh, good God. You have vehicles. You just have so much stuff going on, like so much mayhem. But it's still so vastly different. Okay, we're at 2 of 3 stars for the police. Now we're getting stuff like helicopters. Oh, God. That cop car wanted our booty. Yeah, Indy's always like that with Sound is True. There, it's like amazingly ear-bleedingly loud. 1 at level 4 of 4. Survival time, money collected, total damage. Nice, so you get a whole breakdown, a whole rap sheet. So much damage from collision, even with a character that has such high impact resistance, just seems wild to me. All right, 372. I guess we got to jump back in. We lasted, I think, maybe a little bit longer. I don't know. I will say, having the explosives definitely helps. Definitely helps. You are not a good person. Not in the least. Drunk Santa is gunning. Drunk Santa does not give a shit what you want for Christmas. He is the bad boy. Yeah, look at that. Like, if you do it strategically, planted explosives work so well. 4. Well, I will say, with time, I am getting a better handle for things. I still don't feel like the upgrades are helping that much, per se. Like, the roll definitely is. The equipment item of the explosion is. But some of the other things, I feel like I'm just getting pummeled by cars. But we're working our way up. We're getting through the grind. I would love to try another character and see what the difference is. What else we got? Heal again if we want to. Bullet Whisper, more accurate gun aim and speed, more ammunition, dynamite. Honestly, I feel like the Christmas explosion has been actually helping out a lot. Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me. I do like the fact that the level ups force you to travel around the map. The cops are doing some of the work for me. This is great. Wow, showing off over here, this SWAT truck driving backwards. I love how everyone's just congregating there, like, okay, cool. Yeah, the explosive gifts for Santa and the roll, oh my god, they help so much. Get the destruction in that I need while avoiding the collision damage. Because when you hit the space bar, you avoid the collision damage, which is great, so. Yeah, so far, like, the pluses of it are the fact that you can see the equipment items and some of the perks actually working, like the leadership role and stuff. There are several different kinds of weapons, shotguns and Uzis and revolvers and stuff like that. The military keeps changing up and definitely getting, or I should say, like the force chasing you does change up from like police officers to SWAT and FBI to military, and definitely has their own feel and vibe, and really increases the level of like manicness that happens, which is great. There are some quirky elements to the game though too, little wonky or jankiness here and there, but it is a fun game, and there's definitely a lot to work toward. Trying your best to get all the different requirements for characters, getting all the upgrades unlocked, the equipment items unlocked, and just kind of mastering the flow of how things work.
Happy holidays.
Well, that is a pretty nice find, I'm not gonna lie. With unlimited ammo too? Hell yeah. I just want him to be so drunk that he says Happy Hanukkah. What? What happened? I didn't get hit by anything. So this whole time we've been able to run underwater, no problem. Then all of a sudden now we can't. Okay, so this game definitely changes some things up for the reverse bullet hell games if you're really into those, like Vampire Survivors, Soulstone Survivors, and the like. But this game definitely does come with jank. There is a level of jank here which can be kind of frustrating and confusing and make you go, huh? Also, trying to traverse the map is, I would say, a bit frustrating at times when you're fighting off all this stuff and you're trying to get around this and that. Like, I feel like buildings and people and cars are enough obstacles, but to also add in these layers where you have these massive walls and all this that you're trying to get around, and you think you're like so close, and then you have to backtrack and take all this time to backtrack around, is a bit frustrating. It really does ruin the flow a bit more, but it does add in a level of chaos. So like, again, I'm still on the fence a bit with like the tall walls and stuff and trying to get around the map, because it's just not as easy to traverse. Though again, with a car, I get it, like you're trying to make it more difficult. But yeah, there is some level of jank with this game for sure. It's fun enough for what it is, but I feel like for some people, they're either going to kind of get tired of it and not really want to grind or put in the grind as much, or they're going to get frustrated by it. You know, nothing like a little vehicular manslaughter on a thirsty Thursday. Yeah, I will say it takes a little bit to get to the flow of this game because it is very different. It's like similar but different because it's taking elements from different kinds of games, but it does work. It's just there is some level of jank to it, which again still has a chance to be fixed in a hot patch or something, because this is day one release, right? But overall, still, I mean, for one developer too to take on, this is a lot, and it is like fun to an extent. Like it is really chaotic, but you know, keeps things interesting. No. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Yes. Luckily, the SWAT vehicle hit me first and hit me into the fire truck, so it worked. Yeah, I feel like with utilizing a vehicle, it's a hell of a lot easier to cause a lot more chaos. And it actually makes it a lot easier to collect money quicker. And also within that, to achieve the different goals that you have to unlock the different characters. So there is like a certain flow, I feel like, for this game, where it's like there are some times where you want to run and other times where it's like you really need to jump into a vehicle and go. So we unlocked a really little girl. And with this, it says a really bad puberty is her motive. So some okay health, better speed than the Santa, but not by a ton. Gun handling is the same, but we have no impact resistance. Perk charismatic.
I'm gonna get you.
Oh, so does charismatic mean built-in leadership? Cool. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, so that's why we're super fast and we can turn a lot of people on our side. Okay, I see how that balances then. I can see that then. Okay. Super fast and gets a lot of allies. Okay. You actually do feel the speed increase from the Santa to this, which is good.
I'm sorry. Wow.
I'm also glad you can pick up money while in a vehicle. You don't have to be outside of it. Murder, murder, murder. I'm also small and angry. This is true. This is very true. Let's go with, nitro. Gas filled with nitro gas used for turbocharging your car, but doesn't have to be used inside a car. Interesting. All right, let's do Alley Brawler. It's a miracle. Really? This is? Please have health. Shit. Ah. All right, where are all the hot dog stands? Oh, we got... Psychopath. Psychopath definitely fits the little girl, let me tell you. Yeah, this speed is actually huge. It actually does help a lot. I have not seen any other hot dog stands. Oh, nice. Hollywood Enhancer. Let's go. All explosions. Yeah, I think for this game, it's not going to be for everyone. One, just the level of chaoticness, but I think two, because there is an element to this game that might be a little too much for people, being that you are technically unaliving children and babies, technically speaking, even though they are digital assets, but there are many that will not be very happy with that. Again, there's a reason why Hatred is one of the most banned games, talked about banned games, I should say, in gaming history, and this does kind of have that vibe. It is, in a way, sort of like a GTA meets Hatred meets like a Rogue-Lite. And so for me, I'm like on the fence about certain elements. Like I can overlook and look at like, okay, pixels over what's actually intended. But again, that's not going to be for everyone. So that is something to keep in mind when looking at this game as well. You know, if they didn't have the kid thing and the baby thing, it wouldn't, I guess, be as quote unquote bad in some people's eyes, or have the potential of. But you still are going around just like murdering people. Yeah, I would say overall with this game, I would probably give it like a 4.5 out of 10, with 10 out of 10 being impossible. It's got some really interesting elements, but the whole running around and just shooting people can be, again, a pretty black or white situation. Some people might not care, some people will. So when I'm trying to review this, I'm trying to look at it based on like a as much of a culminative like experience as possible for as many different players as possible. And so, you know, that is kind of a gray area that could cause some issues for this game. But overall, it's just there are some elements that are a bit janky and frustrating. You don't have cumulative achievements, so you don't have really anything to work toward. You're just constantly grinding within that specific mission to try to unlock the next character, which can get very frustrating. Because in some respects, I would rather have higher levels of grinding if it means I get a cumulative, so that way I can get those characters unlocked. I guess it does definitely give its own version of or its own level of challenge by having it just in that mission alone. But again, you're not really giving people that carrot, feeling like they're progressing and working towards something. That doesn't really exist in this game. Is there replayability? Yes, but does it always feel good? Not really, because of that lack of accumulative stuff. There aren't really any fun like hidden features or surprises, it seems like, in the levels thus far. The characters definitely are very unique from one another, at least from the little girl and the drunk Santa that we've been able to unlock and play. And they definitely do feel different, and you can tell their different strengths and weaknesses for sure, which is great. Like, they've done a very good job. When I say they, I mean the developer has done a very good job of creating each character as very distinct, not just visually, not just auditorily, but also mechanically. And, you know, how they function, you can feel it in a way, which is really good. I love that the mugshots fill in with blood and stuff. Yeah, like things change. The mugshots unlock, then as you play them, it's their actual rested mugshot where they're beaten up and stuff like that. They're finally captured. I like the scaling of the enemies, you know, the cops to the SWAT to the military to whatever secret force or whatever. And it definitely gets chaotic and hectic. And it is a very dynamic map. One that will at times get in the way, though, and kind of hinder flow, which could be, again, its own challenge or its own annoyance. It really depends on how you look at it and what you get out of the experience as the individual player. For me, it was more frustrating and annoying. There were some times where it's like, I get it because you have a vehicle. You don't want people to just zip across the map and start farming the different level ups so easily. But especially when you're on foot and you have to deal with barriers and all this other stuff, it does get quite annoying. So I'm not sure if there is just a better way of having a middle ground there, where maybe there are more ramps or more ways of traversing up or down a little bit easier. So that would be something to think about. Right now, there are some elements of jank in this game that make the game feel a little more early access than full release, but I also know it was a single developer that did all of this. So that's damn impressive, because there's a lot of stuff on the back end to think about, and a lot of things to try to balance out, and all these elements that are happening all at once on the screen that in the back end is crazy to try to organize and keep track of. So I definitely give props to the developer for that. So considering that fact, it is impressive. But it's still overall, when it comes to playing the game, does feel a little more early access than 1.0, and does feel like it needs some more levels of complexity in order for it to be more enjoyable long term. Now, keep in mind, though, the game is less than $5 USD. So, I mean, out of it, $1 an hour, I almost have my full money back, basically, with the level of enjoyment and gameplay that I have been working with here. So, you know, it really depends on the person and your thoughts on these types of games. Again, this game really does borrow from different genres, though. Like, I have probably at this point thousands of hours now in all kinds of reverse bullet hell roguelike games and stuff like that. So I do love these types of games, but it does also, like I said, borrow from games like old school GTA and stuff too. Maybe it would be interesting if there were actual objectives that you were trying to achieve besides unlocking the characters. Maybe that would help as well within the missions. Just to keep you working towards something besides just feeling like it's grindy, constantly run, blow up stuff, because after a while you do get desensitized to that and get kind of tired of it. So again, I would give this about a 4.5 out of 10, maybe to like a 5 out of 10, just because it's like it's got the potential, it just needs a little bit more, it feels like. And maybe that can still happen with any sort of hot fixes and patches and stuff, or like free DLC content down the road to help kind of expand on the game, because this is day one. There are things that can still happen within the development process after 1.0 launch. So, but don't just, again, rely on what I'm saying. Try it out for yourself. Again, it's less than $5. It's less than a Starbucks Frappuccino. You can grab it for yourself, play it, and get your thoughts on it, and share your thoughts with the developer. And, hopefully be able to continue to build out this game a little bit more, or at least give some really cool ideas and thoughts to the developer for future games. Because I would really like to see future games from this developer and see where they go. So check it out for yourself. Link is in the chat and in the description. But this was Maniac Day 1 launch. Check it out for yourself on Steam. Let me know your thoughts on it as well. Have you played Maniac? What characters do you enjoy that you've unlocked? What are some things that you think maybe could be flushed out a little bit more, or a little bit more tighter in the gameplay? And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much.